Well, hello everybody. I hope you did well on the test. I will get those graded and I will give those back to you next time. What I'd like to go ahead and do today is cover section 1.1 over slopes and equations of a line. I put a BT/DT there, meaning been there, done that. It's really an Algebra 1 kind of section, so I'd like to get it out of the way before class next time. Chapter 1 is a really short chapter, so we'll be through with it in just a couple of days. So you should have your class notes right there in front of you. I'll thumb through these that I had ready for. But what I'll do with you guys is I'll review with you how we graph lines. That should be easy. How to find slope, change in y over change in x. Equations of lines, vertical lines, horizontal lines, slope, intercept. I'll show you two ways to find those. I'll show you the way I prefer or the way I think's fastest, but I'll also review with you the way that you did it in Advanced Algebra 2. So let me get to your note sheet there, guys, and let me just super fast review with you. Remember, if something's already in slope-intercept form, we're going to graph that really fast. This thing's going to have a y-intercept down here at -4. It's going to have a slope of 2/3, so I'm going to go up 2 and over 3. I will look in Math Excel, and if there's some graphing lines, I'll tell you how to graph that before you get to the video, so I'll look at that. And guys, if it's this one, solve it for y first. So I'm going to move that x to the other side, and then I'm going to divide everything through by 4. So I'll get a -3/4 x plus 2. Once again, let's start up here at 2. Let's go down 3 and over 4. I can do that a couple of times if I'd like. Connect the dots, put my lines, my arrows at the end, and then I've got it. And then even on this one, if you want to solve it for y first, let's move that x over. Let's move that 24 over. And then let's divide everything through by -6. So I'm going to have -6y equal -5x minus 24. Let's divide everything through by -6. So I'm going to get, as I run out of room here, I'm going to get y equal 5/6x plus 4. Once again, I'm going to start up here at 4. If I can go up 5 and over 6, I will. And I was able to. If I couldn't, guys, then I would have did another way to do a positive 5/6. I would have went down 5 and over 6. But either which way, there's our graphing the lines. I want to review with you real fast slope. Remember, we got a little formula for it that says it's the change in y over the change in x. I'll also call it delta y over delta x. I want you to start seeing that delta sign a little bit. Delta meaning change. So I've got the change in y over the change in x. So super fast, it doesn't matter which direction you go. I'm going to go -2 minus 7 and get -9 over 11 minus 5 is 6. So I know that slope's -3/2. When I move on to the next one, 7 minus 1 is 6. 4 minus -2 is also 6. I'm going to get a slope of 1. Now my next one, I'm going to go 1 minus 1 is 0. -3 minus 11 is -14. 0 divided by any number is 0. While I'm here, guys, remember a 0 slope line will be horizontal because we rose 0 and ran 14 or -14. And since I slipped a 0 in there, you probably know what's going to happen here. 7 minus 9 is -2. 4 minus 4 is 0. Division by 0 is impossible, so we know that this is going to be undefined. If we wanted to think about the line, this would be a vertical line because I would go up or down 2 and then over none. And then I just slipped this in. The equations of the lines for the last two will be, if I did this equation, since it's horizontal, I know it's going to run like this. Means it's going to cut through the y-axis. I know this equation is going to be y equal in this case, 1. And y equal 1. In this case, it's going to be a vertical line. All of my x-coordinates are going to be 4. So there I just wanted to slip some slope in for you. Then I just slipped this in there then. All vertical lines, keep in mind this, they're going to cut the x-axis. All vertical lines will have an equation of x equal some number, some constant. All horizontal lines then will have an equation of y equal some constant. So there's where we are so far. On my next video, I was going to review with you how to find additional points on the line, the thinking, and then I'll get into finding the equation of the line itself. I'll show you 2 methods. So here goes your next example. Given the ordered pair 2, 3, and a slope of 2/3, find 2 other points that would be on the line. Well, here goes your thinking. Since my slope is 2/3, I know this thing's going to rise 2 units, and then it's going to go to the right 3 units. It could also go down 2 and to the left 3. So here's my thinking. All my y-coordinates are going to increase by 2. So if I want to come up with a little formula, all my y-coordinates are going to increase by 2. All of my x-coordinates are going to increase by 3. So there's a formula for it. Now just apply that formula to the ordered pair 2, 3. So one possibility, I'm going to add 3 to my x-coordinate. I'm going to add 2 to my y-coordinate. So there's one ordered pair, 5, 5. If I did it again, I might add 3 to the x again, 2 to the y. So there's another. Like I said, a lot of different ways to do this. Given the point 1,6 and a slope of -3, find 2 other points. Well, my slope's going to be -3/1. If I want to think about my formula, my y-coordinates are going to decrease by 3, while my x-coordinates are going to increase by 1. I could have also increased my y-coordinates by 3, decreased my x-coordinates by 1, -3/1. So now, apply that formula from the point 1,6. So one possibility would be 2, 3. If I did that again, another possibility could be 3, 0. So there's just naming some additional points. Equations of lines. Now I'm on to your next page there. Write the form. Our ending form is always going to be in slope-intercept form. I'm going to show you 2 ways, guys, as we go. On the first one, we shouldn't need it. But as we get going, I'll show you 2 ways. You pick the way you like the best. This one's an easy one. I call this a birthday present. The slope is 3/5 and the y-intercept is -6. Our goal when we write the equation of a line is to figure out what your slope is and to figure out what your y-intercept is. Well, in this case, it was given to us. So this equation, y equal 3/5 x plus 6, we're all done. If I look at my next one, the slope is -4/3. We're going to go through the point 0, -4. Well, once again, my slope is given to us, as is my y-intercept. So my equation of the line, y equal -4/3 x minus 4. Be careful in Math Excel. Sometimes they will go y equal the box, and then you're just supposed to put this part in it. Other times they'll just say the equation is, and they'll give you the whole box. Then you'll need the y equal. So be careful what they give you. Okay, my type 2 is, you know, the slope and 1 point. Like I said, guys, I'll show you 2 ways on this. You pick your own poison. I don't care which way you go. Find an equation of the line through the point 1, -2 with the slope of 3. Here's how you was probably taught in Advanced Algebra 2. You was probably taught to use the point slope formula, which says y minus y sub 1 equal m times x minus x sub 1. You plug that in for your x sub 1, that in for your y sub 1, that in for your m, and then solve it. The good thing with that form is when you're done, you're done. So I'm going to have y minus negative 2, which becomes y plus 2, equal 3 times x minus 1. Now I'm going to solve this, so I've got y plus 2 equal 3x minus 3. Subtract 2 from both sides. I'm going to get y equal 3x minus 5. That's the way you're taught last year in Advanced Algebra 2. It is a great method. Here's kind of another option for you. You can see if you like or dislike, and then pick your own poison. I know I want it in this formula, y equal mx plus b. I have a slope. I have an x of 1 value and a y sub 1 value. I need to figure out my b value. So here's yet another way. In place of y, I'm going to plug in negative 2. In place of m, I'm going to plug a 3. In place of x, I'm going to plug a 1. And then I'm looking for my b value. So I've got negative 2 equal 3 plus b. Solve this thing for b, so I'm going to get b is negative 5. I know my slope was originally 3, so here's my equation. Y equal 3x minus 5. So two different ways. Whichever way you like best, I'm good with either. During the video, I'm going to mix it up a little bit because I don't know which way you like the best. In class, I would just ask you, and I would just do it that way. So find an equation of the line through the point 9, negative 6 with the slope of 2/3. One way, I'm just going to use y equal mx plus b. In place of y, I'm going to plug negative 6. In place of m, I'm going to plug 2/3. In place of x, I'm going to plug a 9. And we're going to solve this thing for b. Negative 6 equal 3 goes into 9. 3 times 2 is 6 plus b. If you solve that thing for b, it looks like b is going to be negative 12. Now your equation, y equal 2/3 x minus 12. One last time on the other one, if you use the way you did it in Advanced Algebra 2, we're going to go y minus negative 6 equal 2/3 x minus 9. This becomes y plus 6 equal 2/3 x minus 6 if you distribute. Subtract 6 from both sides and get y equal 2/3 x minus 12. Same answer, two different ways. Like I said, whichever way you like best, guys. Find an equation through the point negative 2, 5 with the slope of negative 2/3. I'm going to do it your Advanced Algebra 2 way. I'm going to go y minus 5 equal negative 2/3 x minus negative 2. I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So I've got y minus 5 equal negative 2/3 x minus 4/3. You can use your calculator. But see this negative 5? I'm going to think of that as 15/3. I'm going to think of that as 15/3. So I'm going to add 15/3 over here. That way I just got a common denominator. Why did I do that? So I don't have to touch my calculator. My ending answer, y equal negative 2/3 x plus 11/3. Okay, so I call that my type 2. You know one equation, or you know the slope in 1 point. My type 3 goes through 2 points. Find an equation on the line through the point negative 3, negative 4, and the point 1, 4. You already know where I'm going to go with this. Before you can ever find the equation of a line, the first thing that you have to do is you have to know your slope. In this case, since I don't know my slope, we got to go find our slope first. The change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to go 4 minus negative 4, and I'm going to get 8. 1 minus negative 3 is 4. So I know my slope is a nice 2. Whichever way you want to go from here, I'm going to switch it up and go y equal mx plus b. It does not matter which point you pick. I'm going to use this one because it doesn't have the negatives. So I'm going to go 4 equal my slope times the x value plus b. 4 equal 2 plus b. So b is going to be 2. Makes my equation y equal 2x plus 2. If you would have chose this point, you would get the exact same line. So pick the point that you think looks the easiest. Here goes my next one. Find an equation of the line through the point negative 3, negative 1, and 9, 19. Once again, let's find our slope first. Change in y over the change in x. So my slope's going to be 19 minus negative 1. Sounds like 20. 9 minus negative 3 is 12. That's going to reduce to 5/3. Whichever way you want. I'm going to pick that point, even though they're bigger. Kind of looks easy to use. So I'm going to go y minus 19 equal 5/3 x minus 9. I'm going to go y minus 19 equal 5/3 x. This one comes out nice. 3 goes into 9 3 times the 5, so this becomes negative 15. Add 19 to both sides. Looks like my equation, y equal 5/3 x plus 4. So there it is through 2 points. I only touched on 2 of those guys because I imagine we're doing pretty dang well on those. Let me touch on parallel perpendicular. I won't do many on those, and then I've got a word problem to talk about, and then I'm going to be done with this video. It's going to be about a 20-minute video is all. Parallel and perpendicular lines. What makes 2 lines parallel? Remember, the slopes are going to be the same. So the first slope is equal to the same second slope. What makes 2 lines perpendicular? I'm going to give you a college algebra book definition of it, but we'll talk through it. 2 lines are perpendicular if the slope of one times the slope of the other is negative 1. You've heard it a little bit different throughout your life. 2 lines are perpendicular if their slopes are opposite. Oh, come back here. Opposite reciprocals of each other. So for instance, if one slope was 2/3, perpendicular would be negative 3/2. If one slope was 7, I'm going to get this, guys. The other would be negative 1/7. So here goes these 2 real fast. Write an equation of a line through the point negative 3, 2, parallel to 2x plus 3y equal 11. The only thing I need out of here is the slope. So I'm going to start solving this thing for y. 3y equal negative 2x plus 11. Divide everything by 3. I'm not going to simplify because I know this slope is negative 2/3. I want my lines to be parallel, so I'm going to use a slope of negative 2/3. So I've got a slope. I've got the ordered pair that I'm going to do. Now just go write the equation of a line, whichever method you like the most. This time I think I'll go y minus 2 equal negative 2/3 x minus negative 3. So I'm going to have y minus 2 equal negative 2/3 x minus 2. Add 2 to both sides. So it looks like in this case y equal negative 2/3 x plus nothing. So right there it is. And then my last one, almost the exact same thing, but I changed one word, perpendicular. From above, when we solved this, I know the slope was negative 2/3. For it to be perpendicular then, you need to use a slope of positive 3/2. And then, like I said, guys, whichever way you want to go get your B value. Since I did that one your advanced algebra 2 way, I'll do this one the way I normally do it. So I'm going to go 2 equal my slope, negative 2/3 times negative 3 plus B. I'm going to go 2 equal 2 plus B. Something's looking off here, because that's going to look too darn easy. My slope is going to be 3/2, negative 3 and 2. Oh, yep. I knew I'd made a mistake. Let me backtrack that, sorry. I just said my slope's got to be 3/2, so let me put that correct number in there. Now this looks a little bit better. So negative 9/2 plus B. I'm going to think of 2 as 4/2. I'm going to add 9/2 over and get 13/2 for my B value. So my equation, y equal 3/2 x plus 13/2. So like I said, guys, doesn't matter which way you use, your advanced algebra 2 method, the y equal mx plus b, whichever way you think's easier. Then I got one last problem. Oh, graph the following line by finding the intercepts of the graph. I tossed this one on there. This isn't on your sheet. Math Excel is going to have you graph one by finding the x and y intercepts. So let me just review you this. If I would like to find the x-intercept, let y equal 0 and solve. So if I let y be 0, I'm going to have 3x minus 0 is 15, meaning my x value is going to be 5. So I have one ordered pair of 5, 0. To find my y-intercept then, let x be 0 and solve. Well, if I let x be 0, I'm going to wind up with negative 5y equal 15. Y is going to be negative 3. So I'm going to have the ordered pair 0, negative 3. Now what you're going to have to do in Math Excel is you're going to have to get the dot tool. And you're going to have to go over 5, up 0, and put a dot. And then 0, negative 3, put a dot. And then what's cool about this, Math Excel will graph that for you. Math Excel will graph that for you. So I just slid that one in real fast. And here's my last one. In recent years, the percentage of U.S. population age 18 and older who smoke has decreased. That's a good thing. At roughly a constant rate, from 23.3 in 2000 to 20.7 in 2006. Find an equation describing this relationship. You got to think about how you want to describe this. When we're all done, do we want to say the percentage is or the year is? The percentage of smokers in 2012 is. So what we want is we want percentage in the Y spot. So in the year 2000, there's 23.3% smoking. And in the year 2006, the percentage was 20.7. That way when I'm done, percentage is in the Y spot, so we'll say the percentage is. Given the year, I can figure out the percentage. Now just go find the equation of a line. I'm going to go 23.3 minus 20.7 over 2000 minus 2006. So once again, I'm finding my slope. After I divided those guys, I went ahead and hit Math Enter, Enter, and I had negative 13/30 for my slope. And then I went ahead and did it my other way. I went 23.3 equal negative 13/30 times 2000 plus B. I had B to be about 889.97. So my equation, y is going to be about, since I've rounded, negative 13/30 x plus 889.97. I could also have put a p there for percentage. So there's my equation on my line. And on my part B, it's just using it. One of the objectives of a Healthy People 2010, a campaign to raise health awareness, was to reduce the percentage of U.S. adults who smoke to 12% or less. Oh God, that'd be awesome. If the decline continues at the same rate, did they meet their objective in 2010? Well, what I need to do is I need to put this 2010 right there. So I need to go ahead and go negative 13/30 times 2010 plus 889.97 and see if we reach that 12% number. Well, the percentage that I got was about 18.97. So it decreased, but not good enough. So we did not meet our goal. So guys, I've got that there. Then I've got your homework in Math Excel. Hopefully I remember to show you how to graph lines right after the test. So if you have any questions, come find me. Good luck.